So today I will show you, or say we'll do a tutorial from start to end to create this beautiful brioche coaster. Or I wanted to make this tutorial just to help people who are a little bit intimidated by brioche. I can understand the intimidation because it is not the typical knitting we do, but the end result is beautiful and it is reversible, and I would definitely recommend you to try at least once. I'm sure you will love it. The fabric is very soft and squishy when you do a brioche. So this is the front and this is the back, okay? And for this coaster, I will write down the pattern and also include on my Ravelry store for a price if you are looking at having a chart as well as written instruction. In this video, I will try my best to go through step by step and help you visually on how to create or how to knit brioche. And for this coaster, I use 10 grams of DK weight. So this is DK weight yarn which I'm using. This is at the back, and I use this is Adi Clicks, and this is I think 3.5 mm Adi Clicks. Okay, so let's start. So this time, this was at the back, but this time I will make this yarn the front. Okay, so I'm going to cast on 29 stitches. So I will wrap 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'll make it 3 times the length for cast on. Okay, so I have. So now I'm just using long tail cast on and then the casting on 29 stitch. Okay, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I have 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28 and 29. Okay, so we have 29 stitches. Okay, and then the first row, so we are starting the first row, and the first stitch is knit. Okay, and then we are going to do a slip and yarn over. Okay, so so bring the yarn in the front, slip the next stitch like this. Okay, and then knit the next stitch. Okay, so this is what we are going to repeat. Okay, bring the yarn in the front, slip the next stitch, and then knit the next. Bring the yarn in the front, slip the stitch, knit the next stitch. This is more like a setup round. Okay, so bring the yarn in the front, slip the stitch, knit the next. Okay, let me do it a bit faster. Okay, because this is the same repeat. And while knitting brioche, you should always use double pointed needles or a circular needle, because we are going to do to and fro of the work, or we are going to knit to and fro. So we need this double pointed I don't use double pointed needle, so I use a circular needle. Okay, so we are going to repeat this till the last 2 stitches. Okay, so for the last 2 stitch, I'm going to bring the yarn in the front, slip the next stitch, we'll do a yarn over like this, and then bring the yarn in the front like this. This is the end of, and then slip the last stitch. Okay, so the last stitch we didn't knit, we just, so let me just show you again. Okay, so for the last stitch, so we had 2 at the end. I bring the yarn in the front and then slip the stitch, then yarn over and bring in the front and slip the stitch. So for row number 2, we are not going to turn the work. Okay, so we are going to take this work back. So normally if I would be knitting this a normal knitting style, I would just turn like this and then start knitting, right? But in brioche we will bring this back to where we started. Okay, and I'm going to use or add the second yarn or second color. Okay, so I have a dull orange. Okay, here so we are going to slip the first stitch as if to purl. Okay, and then this yarn I will have it at the back like this. I'm not going to tie it right now. You can tie it if you want, and bring the yarn in the front. Okay, from the back in the front. This is what you can do, or maybe just to give easier for other people, let me just tie this. Okay, because I usually do not tie it, I sew it at the end for a better finish. I'm not good at tying. I'll tie very loosely because I want to unravel it later and then sew it. Okay, so for the next row, what we are going to do is we are going to slip the first stitch. Okay, like this, as if to purl, and with this second color yarn, bring the yarn in the front, and then we are going to do a brioche purl. When we do brioche purl, means these 2 stitches we are going to knit together. So this is one we did a yarn over and slip, so this is what we are going to purl together. So we do a purl together, so our brioche purl, and then now we are going to slip this yarn or slip the stitch from the left needle like this, as if to purl, then do a yarn over like this. Okay, and the next one is brioche purl. Okay, so we'll do slip 1, yarn over, brioche purl, slip 1, yarn over, brioche purl. Okay, so this is what we are going to repeat till the last 2 stitch. Okay, and then no, till the last 1 stitch, or we can say, so slip 1, yarn over, and brioche purl. Okay, and the last stitch we will just slip it back. Okay, now we have both the yarn in the front like this. Now we will turn the work. I think if I use a DPN, it would not have make so much of noise and scratchy. Okay, so now I'm going to take the first yarn, okay, first color, which I used for casting on, and for row number 3, okay, we are going to knit the first stitch, okay, and then bring the yarn in the front, then slip the stitch, yarn over, and we are going to do brioche purl. Okay, repeat, slip the stitch, yarn over, brioche purl, slip the stitch, yarn over, brioche purl, slip the stitch, yarn over, brioche purl. Once you start knitting a lot of brioche, you will understand why we do brioche purl with the first yarn or the first color. But initially you don't need to apply too much of brain, because it's difficult to understand. It's easier for us knitters to know how to just knit, and then later on we started understanding easily. So I'm doing a little bit faster because this is just a repeat. So slip one, yarn over, and then brioche purl, slip one, yarn over, brioche purl, and then slip one, yarn over, brioche purl. Okay, and then the last 2 stitches I do a slip one, then yarn over, and then slip. Okay, and I will leave the yarn just in the front like this. Okay, now we are going to go back, and then I think I did a mistake. So yeah, so let's unravel. Okay, instead of choosing the first color, I took the second color and did this. Okay, this may happen. Okay, recently I was told that to unravel or frogging, like it is called tinkling, which is spell knit spell backwards. Knit and tink. Okay, sorry for this. But for brioche, I love unraveling like this one by one, because it's easier, and stitch does not fall off like this, rather than unravel it all together and inserting the needle again. While starting the row, I even said to take the first yarn or the first color, but still I took it the second one. Okay, yeah, this happens. Okay, so I had it like this. So I had to take this yarn, okay, the white yarn. I do a knit one, and then bring the yarn in the front, slip the stitch, do a yarn over, and then brioche purl. Okay, bring the yarn in the front, slip yarn over, and then the yarn was in the front already, and then brioche purl. So the yarn is in the front, slip the stitch, do a yarn over, and then brioche purl. Slip, yarn over, 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 brioche pearl, slip, yarn over, brioche pearl, slip, yarn over, and brioche pearl. Okay, so now we have only 2 stitches here left on the left needle. We'll slip the stitch, we'll do a yarn over, and then slip the next stitch, and that's it. That complete row number 3. And for row number 4, you see that this yarn is on the other side. Now we are going to move back to the other side to start using the second yarn or second color. Okay, and now we are at row number 4. So for row number 4, we are going to slip the stitch, first stitch, with the yarn at the back. Okay, and then this is brioche knit. So we are knitting 2 stitches together, or 2 strands of yarn together. Okay, and then bring the yarn in the front, slip the stitch, and then we do a yarn over. We will do a yarn over by itself. Okay, and then knit these 2 strands together, which is a brioche knit. Okay, bring the yarn in the front, slip the stitch, and then brioche knit. Bring the yarn in the front, slip the stitch, brioche knit. Bring the yarn in the front, slip the next, and then brioche stitch. Bring the yarn in the front, slip the stitch, and then brioche knit. Bring the yarn in the front, slip the next, brioche knit. Okay, this is just a repeat. I will try to do it a bit faster. Okay, and then the last stitch we will just slip to the right needle, and this yarn we are dropping at the back. Okay, so this complete row number 1 to 4. Now row number 5, we will again take the first yarn, the white color, and then this time, or for row number 5, knit the first stitch, bring the yarn in the front, slip the next stitch, and then brioche knit. Bring the yarn in the front, slip the stitch, brioche knit. Bring the yarn in the front, slip the stitch, brioche knit. Okay, this is the repeat. So we already did like this, so I will do a little bit faster. Yeah, I was not looking properly. Okay, bring the yarn in the front, slip the stitch, brioche knit. Bring the yarn in the front, then brioche knit. Bring the yarn in the front, brioche knit. Bring the yarn in the front, yeah, and then slip the stitch and brioche knit. Okay, so this is just a repeat of the pattern. So now we have 2 stitches on the left needle, so I'll bring the yarn in the front, slip the stitch, do a yarn over, and bring in the front again, slip the last stitch. And then row number 6, we're going to come back to the other side to do row number 6. So the yarn is in the front. Slip the first stitch, with the yarn in the front like this, and then we will do a brioche purl. Okay, slip the next stitch, do a yarn over and brioche purl. This is the repeat. Slip the stitch, do a yarn over and brioche purl. Okay, so we will repeat this till the last one stitch. So this is the same repeat, so I will again try to do it a bit faster. And then we will just slip the last stitch. So we have both the yarns in the front. Okay, now as we have both the yarns at one end, we are going to turn the work. And now row number 7, okay, we are going to use the first color or the first yarn, knit the first stitch, bring the yarn in the front, slip the next, do a yarn over, brioche purl, slip the stitch, do a yarn over, brioche purl, slip the stitch, do a yarn over, brioche purl, slip the stitch, do a yarn over, brioche purl. Okay, so this is the repeat, and I'm going to do it a bit faster again, and then we'll show you at the end of this row when we have 2 stitches left. So far we have been doing repeat of these stitches, which is almost similar, fairly easy. In the next one I will show you how to increase, and then 4 stitch increase and also 2 stitch decrease. Okay, so we have 2 stitches left on the left needle, and now slip the stitch, do a yarn over and bring the yarn in the front, slip the next and drop it. Okay, and now we are going to go back again on the other side. And now this is row number 8. Okay, so for this we are going to slip the stitch with the yarn at the back. Okay, slip the stitch as if to purl with the yarn at the back. The next one is brioche knit. Bring the yarn in the front, slip the stitch, and we do a yarn over like this, and then brioche knit. So while doing this, as the yarn was already in the front, it creates this yarn over. Okay, so you bring the yarn in the front, slip the stitch, brioche knit, bring the yarn in the front, slip the stitch, and then brioche knit, bring the yarn in the front, slip the stitch, and brioche knit. Okay, so repeat till the last 1 stitch. I'm doing again a bit faster because this is just a pattern repeat. Okay, and then we have only the last stitch left. We'll just pass this over like this, and that's it. So we have completed from row number 1 to row number 8 and then we turn the work. Okay, so for row number 9 I will show you in the next video.